We're going more on location. We're talking to a more diverse group of people, bringing the special needs community right to you. Hi, welcome to the WendyLyfe Show. We're on location here in the River Forest area at the Community Center, and I am speaking to someone I've been a fan of for a few months now, and his name is Michael Carmody. Thank you for being on the show.
You bet, Wendy.
I saw you on the local TV station talking about your brother and the special needs program you have for adults 22 and up. So tell me about your awesome brother who I was able to meet and this program.
So my brother, his name is John. He has Down syndrome.
Okay.
He's 32 years old. When he was like 18, probably about 18, we started to realize that he needed something more. And actually, probably before that, the idea that a lot of the times he was told what his options were. And I don't know about you, but when someone tells me this is what I get to do, I'm not going to be happy about that.
Right.
So one of the things we wanted to do was explore the idea of creating more for him and his friends.
Wow.
So that's kind of the reasoning behind it, is that there are great programs out there, but consistency, and we wanted just to create more options.
And it's funny you say that, because a lot of times as special needs caregivers or family, we see what programs are out there and we just try and mold ourselves into what's out there. But you didn't like that. You wanted to create something. So you and your brother Phil got together and created this program here. So what are some of the things that the adults, I keep wanting to call them kids, what are they doing? And how are you different than the cookie cutter?
A lot of our program is based around choice. We develop our programming around what our warriors want. And we call the people we serve warriors.
That's awesome.
And so the idea of the warrior is that we all wake up and we have something we have to overcome. And a lot of the times for my brother, it's something plus something else.
Right.
And he's able to wake up, get dressed, not care about what happened and not care about what's going on, and things roll down his back and he just kind of goes.
Wow.
And the idea of our programming was that right now we service people from 14 and a half and up. So our after school program, after work, is geared around the 3 to 6 time period. Because when we were doing this, we realized that this was a gap. This was 10 years ago. And a lot has changed since then, and there's a lot more programming. But the gap was 3 to 6.
Okay.
So that was our original, that actually wasn't our original plan, but that's how we settled in with the idea of building from there. So we had the 3 to 6. We developed a group of people, and then with the idea of then going to our second phase, which is the Life Shop, which is our 22 and up, which is a program that operates 8:30 to 2:30 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay.
And the Life Shop, it's geared around wellness, volunteering, farming, cooking, continuing education. And just learning about, a lot of the programming we do is learning about self, and creating more opportunities to get a better understanding of who our guys are, who our staff are, and just learning from each other in that process.
So how many people do you have in this, the 8:30 to 2:30, the 22 and up? How many do you have in that program?
In that program we call the Life Shop, and that services Tuesday and Thursday 10 people, actually 11 people. And on Wednesday, it's 12 people.
Wow.
And Wednesdays, we test it out another day, and we're working on, some people can do the morning and then go, and then some people do the afternoon.
As far as the staff?
No, the warriors.
The warrior. Love that.
So like the staffing wise, it's static. We have staff, and there's like rotations with that.
So, okay, you have this program. So when you say 3 to 6 is the gap, what causes that gap?
Well, think about it. When we're in high school, we have extracurricular activities.
Right.
A lot of our warriors didn't have that. Like they would get on the bus and they'd go home.
Yeah.
And there are existing programs that they went to, but a lot of them were seasonal. And so what we wanted to do was create a more consistent, ongoing programming.
Something to always look forward to.
Yes.
That is so awesome. So what are some of the disabilities that are here that you guys cater to?
So we service people on the autism spectrum, Down syndrome, Fragile X, cerebral palsy, fetal alcohol syndrome.
Wow.
So it's a wide range. I'm mentally impaired. So it's just a wide range.
Yeah, it seems like that when we have the special needs, the smaller they are, the more resources and the more programs that are there for them. But as they get older, then it leaves the family wondering what can we do with this person as they get into adulthood. And you're trying to address that with this program here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 5 boys in this family.
Yes.
Wow. How was it growing up with him? You're growing up and you're looking at your friends, you're seeing your other brothers who are normal, and then you see that Phil is a little bit different. John is different. I was about to say I messed up. John is a little different. So as you were growing up, how did your parents raise you guys so that you had that, we need to do something for him, like it's a family affair?
I think growing up, it was kind of like I was like, he's 32, I'm 38. I was 6 years old when he was born. So like I didn't know left from right.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, here's your brother, treat him as if, and you know, we a lot of the times we tried to incorporate him in everything we did. Mm-hmm. If we had a game, we'd bring him to the game. If we were hanging out with our friends, we'd bring him with our friends. So we tried not to treat him differently.
Yeah. And it's funny when you treat the child that way, then your peers see and act accordingly. Like if you make it something weird or something unusual, then they act accordingly. So he was probably always accepted because you guys treated him as just your brother. Mm-hmm. That's so awesome. So what are the plans for it? How long have you had this program?
So right now we're coming up on our 10th year of programming.
What are some of the plans ongoing?
Well, we're continue to develop and maintain. I think a lot of it is maintenance of our after school, after work program in our life shop. Mm-hmm. And we're exploring the idea of residential living in the community. A big thing for us is that I don't want my brother to venture off. We would like, if possible, for him to be in the community with other peers and other people that he's familiar with.
Accept and love him and help him along the way. What's the oldest that you have here? You said 2021. What's the oldest?
I think it's like 33-ish.
But there's no aging out. They just come?
We're kind of in the process of examining how that's going to look. Okay. So originally when we started, it was 14 and a half to 30. Mm-hmm. But as we're growing and expanding, that is kind of slowly backing up.
I mean, they can get big because the person who came to you at 30, they had already almost aged out. Right. So we have to figure out what to do with them ongoing.
Yeah. So like our programming right now is kind of, it's still evolving. It's evolving and we're trying to just go with that. And as people age, there's going to be other areas that we're going to have to look into as an organization. Right. So right now we're very fortunate that, you know, we have this and we're going to kind of see how it evolves.
So what does this do for you as a person to come and service the needs of this group that are often forgotten, or they have this cookie cutter system that you're giving them choices and you're seeing them smile in addition to your brother? Like, what does it do for you and your brother?
For me, I don't really consider this a job. Like, this is fun. Yeah. I guess what I've learned is that my brother has helped me realize the person I'm supposed to be. And he keeps teaching me, and I don't know if I'm actually teaching him anything.
Isn't that amazing how that works? People often feel sorry for the special needs person. Like, no, you have no idea what they bring out of you that you didn't know was in you in the first place.
Yeah, this idea of pity, it's like, oh, you have a special place, you're in heaven. I'm like, no, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I've heard
that too.
It's like,
you too can have that place.
Yeah, it's like, I don't, this is what I've been given, and he's helped me realize what I'm supposed to do and what I'm capable of doing, and helps me continue to grow as a person.
So what can people who are watching in the community, outside the community, how can we help this awesome program?
I would say just you could reach out. We could, time. We're always looking for people to give time and their skills. Of course, donations.
Money.
Well, yeah. But that's not the first thing I'm going to ask for people.
Yeah, but it helps.
Money always helps.
But a lot of times people think that that's all. Well, I don't have any money. The gift of your time is huge.
I actually personally think time is better than money.
It's way more valuable.
Because time is, you spend time here, you develop a relationship with people, and then you take that and you tell your friend, and then your friend tells your friend, and it creates like a grassroots.
And it does something inside of you when you're around these people and you're seeing the smiles on their faces and you're seeing them wanting to come every day. So do you guys do any field trips or anything like that?
So it's a wide array of things that we do. Some days we try and get out into the community as much as possible. We will go, they just went to Northerly Island and did a fishing trip. We're going to go do kayaking on the Des Plaines River.
Nice.
And we do woodworking, we do graphic design, we do party planning. It all depends on the ideas of our staff and what the Warriors want.
Because they have choices.
They have choices. And another cool aspect of our programming is that we have peer-led programming. Okay. So the Warriors come up with an idea that something they really love, and then they lead the group with the staff coming behind them.
Wow.
So we teach naturally the leadership. We try and encourage the leadership of that warrior.
We're going to learn more about these warriors. We'll be right back. And we're still talking to Mr. Michael Carmody, my best friend of this awesome program. We'll be right back.
On the next Wendy Life, Wendy talks to Sarah Koloje, Recreation Superintendent for the Joliet Park District.
For the Special Rec Department, we offer 6 Special Olympic sports. Our youngest is 5 and our oldest is, I want to say 68. For the summer fall, we have 40 programs altogether.
So this is 18 and up for the high school.
Okay.
There's a room downstairs too. So we would also, during the day, we'll have access to these rooms for our programming. So this is the life shop. You guys say hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi. Hi, I'm Wendy.
Hi, Sonia.
Oh, yes, nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Max.
Hello, Max. Nice to meet you.
24. Who's your 24?
I wanted to meet you guys on my show. I have a special needs son. How are you? How old are you?
28 years old.
Oh, grown.
Oh, I took to A also.
Are you really?
Yes.
All right, can you show them how to use your pen scraper to get your pineapple on there? Yeah. Nice. You look very chefy, John.
Hey.
It's that confidence again.
Welcome back. We are here with Michael Carmody, and we are talking about this Life Shop program. What were you doing before you started this?
Before we started Opportunity Knocks, I was a teacher at Oak Park High School.
Okay. What'd you teach?
I taught special ed.
Wow. Also, okay.
So this was kind of what I was supposed to do from the get-go.
Yeah.
That was like my goal in life, to go back to the high school I went to and teach and coach. And so I did that for 8 years. And then I was doing both. And I was...
Oh, wow.
I didn't have to make a choice, but I was getting to the point where I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I felt like this was the right direction for me. Because it's cool, because I get a little bit of each aspect of teaching and coaching in everything I do here. And so 6 years ago, I decided to quit teaching, or resign, as I like to say, and just do this full time.
So what did your parents think about all this?
At first my dad was kind of like, what are you doing? Because working at Oak Park High School as a teacher is a very good job. But after a while, I think my parents understood that, like, I was happy there, but I wasn't fulfilled.
And that's important.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think about that. Thinking about how much annually they're making. But if you're not fulfilled, then how good is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's every day it gets better.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So now, what are some of the fundraising activities and events that you have here?
So right now we currently have 3 fundraisers. We did 4, but we're working on changing things a little bit. Our main fundraiser is we have the OK Classic, which is a 14-inch co-ed softball tournament.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then we have, which is September 27th, I believe.
Coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's an all-day event at the Forest Park Park District.
Wow.
2 fields all day, food, music, kids entertainment. So that's one of them.
It's just a big party.
Big party
Okay.
and play softball. We tried to cater, when we came up with these events, we tried to cater to the communities.
Mm-hmm.
And Oak Park is a very big baseball and softball.
Okay.
Oak Park, River Forest, and Forest Park.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're a very big softball and baseball contingency here. So that was our first event. We started that event after a very dear friend of ours passed away. And it kind of transitioned into something we didn't even understand what was going on.
So you took the grief of that and built something on it.
Yeah, because my friend, her name was Kathleen Garrigan, and she helped build this
Wow.
before she passed away.
Okay.
And so we have that event, and then we have a chili cook-off, and then we have our Night for Opportunities, which is a gala. It's our more formal event each year in April.
That's in April.
Yeah.
So those of us who don't play softball, what can we do at these events?
Oh, you can volunteer. You could bring your family. You could eat.
Even your special needs family.
Absolutely.
Especially them.
One of the big things about our events that we are very proud of is that we encourage family members and we incorporate our warriors in every aspect of our event. A lot of them will play in the games.
Wow.
A lot of them will volunteer.
The warriors are volunteering.
Because I think it's really important that people aren't just given things.
Mm-hmm.
They understand the idea of that they have to put in work just like everyone else.
Yeah.
So
And we have to teach them the same thing we would teach anyone else. A lot of times we tend to put them in a box, trying to protect them more so than anything else. But we're not allowing them to grow and be their best self.
Yeah.
How has Phil? So Phil's been here the whole time, correct?
Correct. Phil is Phil has been here. He's also a fireman in Naperville.
He's a fireman too?
Yep. So on his days off, he's doing this.
That is so awesome. What have you seen in him since he's been here, the growth?
I think Phil has definitely grown. His leadership and he's a very, very, very hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
And that has rubbed off on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been interesting for us working together because we're very different people.
Oh, wow.
I'm more laid back. He's more like, let's go. So it's been nice for us.
That should be interesting some days.
Yeah, well, it's nice for us to kind of grow together and learn from each other.
And there's a benefit because you can calm him down some days, but some days he can.
And he can give me a push. He can give me a push when I need a push.
Yeah. Now, what's the ratio to volunteers and staff?
So we try and
warriors.
We try and do at least 1 to 4. Okay. Some days it's like 1 to 2. It just depends. We're very, very fortunate with our volunteers. We have a very great relationship with Dominican University and Concordia and the high schools.
Because they can get their credits here, correct?
Yep. And then we also have a lot of community members that are able to volunteer because our family has been in Oak Park for 3 generations.
Okay.
So we have a very wide range of people. And I think also with our staff, we have a really young group of people who are really engaged and want to make a difference and are passionate about everything they do here. And it's nice to see that young group of people.
Yeah. So do you have any special stories that stick out in you from maybe a staff member who started and you saw something transition in them just being in this environment, or even from one of the warriors?
I think we've had, the cool thing about what we do here is 90% of the staff who are staff volunteered first. And so people start out, or Kim Mears she started out as an intern. And now she's been here for 9 years, and she's developing programs in the Life Shop, and she's helped develop the After Ops program. So I think she'd be a great example of how her growth and her time here it's evolved, and it continues to evolve.
And so you're still looking for volunteers. Can someone say, I don't have much time, but I come maybe once a month? Can you do something with a person like that? Yeah,
I mean, we could do.
Because people tend to think they need all of this time to volunteer, and sometimes you could just pop in when you can, and it makes all the difference.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the days. We try and find a way to get people involved. Either if it's once a month, maybe they can do an event.
Okay.
And then with our programming, our After Ops program, we all have a lot of volunteers. That's another really good place for people to volunteer.
Do you guys go to the movies?
We try to go wherever our guys want to go. So today they're Dominican.
Yeah.
They're out playing bocce ball.
Wow.
So they're a little bit.
So whatever they come up, and it's nice that the program is often led by what their desires are.
That's actually everything that we do is led by what they want to do.
Yeah.
And then we throw in what some of the staff want to do, because the staff are helping lead a lot of these things. And they're all so young and creative. I shouldn't say I think. We have a very dedicated group of staff who are super creative to find ways to push the limit. So we try not to say no here.
Yeah, which is what we're used to hearing though.
Right.
No. So how does this change the person, make you a better person at home?
Working with my brother has helped me understand that you got to meet people where they're at. Whenever I encounter someone, it's not
Special needs or not.
It's meeting people where they're at and understanding the people.
It gives you more compassion.
Yes.
And patience. When people are not acting ideal, sometimes it's just the type of day they're having, which is kind of like a special needs child, or like when my son is acting especially special, I'm like, okay, it's just one of those days. You just kind of learn to ebb and flow with what that person is bringing towards you. And I would assume working in this environment makes you way more observant and compassionate to your surroundings.
Yeah, and I try not to be reactive. And when something happens, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how can we work through this?
And you don't get upset over the little things. This person cut me off on the street, like whatever.
It's a lot of laughing and not taking things personally and having a really short memory.
It makes things better.
You
can just kind of laugh it off like,
yes,
it's not that serious. What else would you want people to know about this program?
I think for people with developmental disabilities and intellectual disabilities as a whole, it's don't be afraid. Like, say hello.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. It's like, and let them talk. Don't let the people that they're with talk for them.
And I think that's part of the problem when someone encounters someone with a disability, they don't know what to do. So oftentimes they just choose to ignore because they don't want to scare the person, offend the person, do the wrong thing. But I always tell people, ask me questions. Talk to him. He's going to flirt if you're a girl.
Totally.
Not a flirt, but yeah, just treat them as you would treat anyone else that you don't know. Just start talking. Wow. So Phil is a fireman. When did that start?
Man, I think it's like 10 years ago. So yeah, Phil is the second oldest of the five. And it's cool with our family is everyone has been involved in some way or another. My dad is on the board of directors.
Wow.
My brother Chuck helped with our finance committees. My brother Colin helps on the auxiliary board. I work here. And then John is the reason we're here.
Yeah.
And then my mom, mothers,
we are everywhere.
They pull all the strings.
Yeah. So when he comes to you guys 11 years ago, or as a child, it's like, I want to be a fireman. Do you guys encourage that and then pray to the side? Like what? How do you come to terms with the fact that your brother wants to be a fireman? Like my son is healthy, and if he came and told me that, I'm like, okay, sweetie. Okay.
I think one of the things with Phil is great, but like if John wanted to do that, I think it's just finding a way for him to be a part of that. He may not be a fireman per se, but like he could be a volunteer with them, or like he could go and hang out with them and he could learn about all those different things.
There's a way.
There's a way, I think, to incorporate someone and show them a dream that may not be exactly what they want, and then go from there and see how it develops.
Figure out your way of realizing that dream. It doesn't have to be the way that's the norm. You can just figure out the way that's best suited for your needs.
Yes.
And I'm sure, so when he crosses, what is it? Do they graduate from when they become a fireman?
Phil?
Like when they go through training and they graduate, like, was he just so proud to say, I am a fireman?
Phil, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then how did that change you?
I think it was good because we're kind of able to work together still and kind of find ways to navigate through it.
And I think for me, seeing someone like your brother or someone who has a disability reach a goal, you feel like, okay, I have no excuses. You know, you wake up and you're tired, or you didn't have a good day, or, you know, someone's driving you crazy. Like, this person has things we don't have to deal with, and they're rocking it.
Yeah.
So what excuse do we have?
John is a person who has a lot of obstacles to encounter. And the fact that he wakes up every day with a smile on his face and he's ready to go and not let things bother him, I think I try and take that every day. He does it every day. There's days where I don't do it.
But then we look to him and like, okay, it's cool. How do they interact with each other, the warriors? How do they help each other? How do they encourage each other?
One of the cool things about working here is seeing how we have all abilities programming. So we have people who may not be able to walk, but some of the other warriors will help each other. It's amazing to watch how they help each other.
And they do it naturally.
Naturally. You don't have to say a word to them about it.
I've noticed that myself. Wow. So next month, in September, is a fundraiser. How do people learn about your program and how to help? And how to volunteer? You
can go to our website at www.opportunityknocksnow.org.
I like that. Opportunity Knocks Now.
That was when we did the domain. It was.
That's good. I'm sorry. I totally cut you off. I'm like, that's good.
.org wasn't available, so we changed it to Now.
Okay.
But it kind of all worked out beautifully.
That's a great title. But I want to thank you for being here. This is awesome. Now, do you have children of your own?
I do not.
Okay. So when you plan to have them, you're kind of already there. You have the patience.
I would hope so.
Yeah, you do. Trust me, you do. But I thank you so much for just taking the time. Like I said, I saw you a few months ago and I just went nuts. Like, we have to find them. I thank you for the work that you do, because it's so important to address that niche that are often forgotten or don't have things to do. And just many blessings to you and your family.
Well, thank you. And thank you for everything you're doing. You're showing people who are doing these things that
that's the goal.
Need to be recognized.
Make our community more reachable. Make it more noticeable. Just showing different aspects. So what is your contact information again?
It's www.opportunityknocksnow.org. And our phone number is 708-771-6159, extension 220.
220. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching our show. Till next time, be kind to one another. And thank you. God bless.